Hi everyone, for today I want to show you how to crochet these little hexagons, kind of like a granny square almost, but they're a hexagon shaped, so you can piece them all together to either leave them as they are to do like a coaster, or add them together to create bags or blankets. These ones are referred to as the solid, even though they do have that slight opening into them. There is another method to make these too, but for here, I'm showing you this style for it. To create these, you'll want a pair of scissors in order to cut your yarn, simple darning needle in order to weave in the ends. You'll need some yarn. I'm using a number 4 worsted weight yarn. This is an acrylic. It's Red Heart, and I'm using a 4mm hook with this. Now you can use virtually any size yarn that you want. You'll just have to adjust for the size of the hook that you're going to use. To begin this, we're going to start with a magic ring. So hold it in your hand between your thumb and forefinger and wrap around your 2 fingers so that the tail end's on the bottom, working end is on the top. Insert your hook through the loop or through the ring, pull up a loop, and then from here we're going to chain 3. All right. Now what we want to do is double crochet into the magic ring. So yarn over, go into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through your first 2 loops, yarn over, and go through your last 2 loops. So you've created a double crochet, and that first chain 3 will count as your first double crochet of the round. And now we want to chain 2. Now for our next section, we want to do 2 double crochets into the ring. And then chain 2. All right, so we create just another little bunch of those. So you want to repeat that 4 more times, 2 double crochets into the ring and then chain 2. Now if like me, you tend to pull on this circle, if your tail gets, lost inside, just give it a little tug to kind of close it up a little bit. All right, so repeating that 4 more times. All right, now that we've got our 6, so it's 6 little clusters all together, and on your chain 2, grab the tail end of our magic ring and pull it. And then I'll go ahead and close up our magic ring. And then we want to slip stitch into this first or that 3rd chain of our first chain 3 of the round in order to join. So just insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, and just go through the loop you already had on your hook. All right, so now we have 6 little clusters all together in there. For the next round, we'll go ahead and chain 3. And then we're going to want to double crochet because we're coming out of the top of this first chain 3 stitch, which counts as a double crochet. We're going to want to double crochet into the top of this next double crochet next to it from the previous row. And then into that chain 2 space, we want to double crochet into there again. And then chain 2. Now into the chain 2 space, we want to double crochet into there again. And then we want to double crochet once into each top of the previous row's double crochet stitches. And then double crochet once into that chain 2 space. And then we'll go ahead and chain 2. Now if you look at it, see we put 1 on either side of the previous row's cluster into the chain 2 space, and then 1 double crochet on top of the previous row's double crochets. So we had 2, now we have 4 on that side, then we made our chain 2 space. All right, now we just want to repeat that going for the next few 4 spaces. Double crochet into the chain 2 space, double crochet on the top of each stitch, double crochet into the next chain space, and then chain 2. All right, now for our last little space, we started on top of that first stitch of the round, and then we had 2 more, so we're going to want to double crochet into that chain 2 space. So now we have our 4 for that side, so we want to slip stitch into our 3rd chain of our first chain 3 of the round in order to join, and then we have round 2. For round 3, we're going to chain 3 again, and then see where our stitches came out. So we're going to want to double crochet into the top of the next 2 stitches. And then we want to double crochet into that chain 2 space, and then chain 2. All right, now for our repeat that we're going to do, we're going to double crochet into the chain 2 space, and then we had 4 stitches the previous row, so we want to double crochet once into the top of all 4 of those. And then chain 2. And now here you can see we started 2, next row had 4, this row has 6, and then the chain 2. So we just want to repeat that, this little section here, going into the next 4 spaces. All right, and then for our last little section, remember we got a double crochet into the chain 2 space. And now if we look, we need to put a double crochet into the top of this stitch. If you have any difficulty trying to find where your stitches are and everything, by all means just look at, because here we had 6 double crochets for this section. Go ahead and count your stitches. If you're short one, it just means you missed a stitch somewhere. So we're going to double crochet into here. Then we got 4 and then 2, so 6. So we want to slip stitch into the 3rd chain of our first chain 3 of the round in order to join. And then we have a round 3. Then we'll go ahead and chain 3. Then we're going to double crochet into the top of the next double crochet of the previous row. We're going to go ahead and do that for each till the end of this little section here. And then double crochet into the chain 2 space and then chain 2. Now for this next little section, we'll be doing all the little repeats. Same as previous rows, double crochet into the chain 2 space, then double crochet into the top of the next 6 stitches, because we did 6 double crochets in the previous row. And then double crochet into the chain 2 space and then chain 2. So once again, take a look at it. We had 2, 4, 6, 8. So each row goes up by 2. Go ahead and give them a count. 2, 4, 6, 8. And then we just want to repeat this pattern. Double crochet into the chain space, double crochet into the next 6 stitches, double crochet into the chain space, and then chain 2. And we'll just repeat that 4 more times for the sides. All right, then for our last little section here, double crochet into the chain space, and then see we have now 2 stitches before where we started. So we're going to double crochet into each of those. Now just as a little check, our spaces along this side had 8 double crochets. So just double check, make sure you got the correct stitch count. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have our 8 into there. So we'll slip stitch into that third chain of our first chain 3 of the round to join it. And then I am actually going to tie off mine here. Now I can go ahead and weave in the ends. I don't know, I might do a blanket creating for mine. Not too sure, I haven't decided yet. But for this also, you can continue and make it even larger if you want. You just kind of repeat this pattern, but each row goes up by 2. You know, the extra 1 for either side of the chain 2 space. And yes, you can make it as large as you want, or, you know, make it smaller if you want to. Depending on whatever you decide you want to try and create with them. They make great little coasters. Also, I have a little project here I was working on with this same design to create a little tote bag for them. Yeah, it's still in the works. I haven't finished it up yet at all. But that is how you create these. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a little thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and share it with your friends. And if you want to continue getting a free pattern at least once every week, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And I've just gone ahead and laid these out, kind of giving you an idea of how you'd piece them together if you wanted to go into a bigger project for the size and everything for them. All right, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Hope to see you again soon.